You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on InterFed Radio. Welcome to Living Nightmare After Hour. With me in studio, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome.
Hey, thanks. How's it going?
It's better. I mean, like I said, getting over these technical difficulties. Like I said, I'm ready for next cycle. I want to push past this last ugly bronze cycle.
Let's go. I mean, it wasn't all bad.
No. Definitely not all bad. Well, all bad for me though.
Okay. I mean, I thought bronze was fine.
Oh, we're over here in the shadows, brother. We gotta. I'm ready for next cycle.
Yes.
But Living Nightmare League. We're getting ready for Dead by Dawn.
Yeah.
Living Nightmare 51 champions. Is that where we're going? Because I really don't hate to say. I hate to say this name now. Every time.
It's a good name, I think.
It's a great name, yeah. And even more this cycle. Dr. Frankenstein not only brought home the Nightmare Championship, but brought home the IWA Elite title to the to the Living Nightmare League.
Yes. Elite and Metro.
Nice.
Yes.
Bring it home.
Yes. Got outflowed, however, for hardcore and bronze fed. So that's okay. You know what? Elite's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and at the same time, like I said, I mean, it just brings to light some of that diversity for those other titles that there is, even though you win the Elite, there is a way to, get edged out, I guess, for those other ones.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Nightmare League 51's Paranormal Champ, Darth Jigoku. Amityville Champion, Blade the Vampire Hunter. Crystal Lake Champion, Sawtooth. Nice. Elm Street Champion, Patient X. Black Lagoon Champion, Darth Akuma. Camp Arnwalk Champion, nice, back on the title page, Voodoo Dolly. Transylvania Champion from the Battle Royal, Jigsaw. Haunted Hill Champion, 3 fingers, nice. 2 wins, but only 3 fingers, nice. Sleepy
Soon he won't
Hollow.
be able to tell you how many he's got.
Oh, you're bad. Oh, man, dude. These shows are going low now. Man, shots fired early. Nice. Sleepy Hollow Champion, One Eye. Salem's Lot Champion, the Crypt Keeper. And the Crypt Champion, the Hitchhiker. Apocalypse Tag Team Champions, 3 Fingers and the Hitchhiker. Doomsday TV Champion, Patient X. And Dr. Frankenstein. Nice. Slaughterhouse 6-man champions back-to-back. One Eye, the Crypt Keeper, and the Hitchhiker. Members of, the Legion of Extraordinary Evil?
Well, no, that's Sinister Bagul's group.
What? Changing their stables? What? I'm getting slashed. No.
Crypt Keeper and Hitchhiker are I think with Pinhead.
Aha. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm already confusing them. If I'm getting beat up in other leagues, I'm getting my head chopped off in the Living Nightmare League. Oh my goodness. Let's just move it on. Nightmare TV 6-man champion, Patient Z, Patient Y, and Patient X. Whew, before my head gets chopped off. Right. Oh man. Now, Dead by Dawn is right around the corner, and everybody was asking for it. The return of the Pale Man.
Yes.
Right before Dead by Dawn, he came through
just in time.
Now, are we going into Dead by Dawn's matches, or are we covering Commissioner Champions?
I defer to you, sir. What would you like to cover next? Would you like to cover the pay-per-view, or you want to talk about other stuff?
Yeah, what? Let's just clean up and keep the champions going, just to get them out of the way.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Oh, if I may, I don't know how clear it comes through if you still receive a paper bulletin. I'm probably the only one. But if you look at the background on the cover, that is the ominous image of Sinister Bagul behind his League of Extraordinary Evil there.
Aha. One
So
Eye
it is
himself.
like,
No,
yeah.
not One Eye himself.
No, it's not
No,
One Eye.
it's not One Eye. Oh, it's Bagul. I see you, Bagul. I see both eyes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I like it.
I like to pat myself in the back once in a while.
Oh yeah, it's a good picture too. I'm trying to make out these other guys, but yeah, they all look like trouble.
Yeah. Indeed they do. And as we will talk about in our trash talk, these guys created some trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along, monsters? Just, nice,
Yeah.
The Reverend, God rest his head in a box somewhere. Like,
he tried, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, just get along. No word on the head in the box, right? No word yet. No, nothing.
Not yet.
Not gonna
yet. Every cycle, I excitedly look through just to see, but I the waiting is so sweet. So yes. I'm happy to continue to wait and see when Sinister will cash in his opportunity. So for those of you who may not know, first time listener, Sinister Bagul won the Head in the Box, which is the LNL's version of the Money in the Bank. And so at any time, he can challenge the Underworld champion with a 4-point advantage. The only thing is he just has to mention it in his trash talk that cycle. Like if, for instance, he had used it this cycle, he has to mention in his trash talk that he's cashing in his Head in the Box, and then he can challenge for the title. So
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. It's a nice little thing to have in the background. It could happen anytime.
Yeah, and it must be like you got that monkey on your back as a champion at all times because right. I don't care who you're feuding with, but when he cashes it in, he's going for that belt.
Right. Yeah, you always got to be looking over your shoulder.
Now it could be for any title, so it can even be for the terror tag titles if he wants to.
Excellent question. It is for the Underworld title.
Aha. Okay. Strictly for the so Akuma.
Right. It's for the big one. Yeah.
Maybe Buckle is scared of Akuma. He just doesn't want to cash it in while he's still champion. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do monsters get scared? Is that
I mean, I think some monsters do, but I don't know if Sinister Bagul does.
Mm-hmm.
He seems pretty fearless to me. Mm-hmm. But maybe he's waiting for, after Akuma and Patient X tear each other apart at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think
no better time than then, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's his contract to cash in when he wants, so he can wait.
I like it. Now, our terror tag champions, Jason and Michael, are they're scheduled to defend those titles at Dead by Dawn.
They are. Are we gonna go into the pay-per-view?
Oh, I'm just going over the little champions here at on our little champions.
Then I'll just perfect. Yes. Then I will just say yes. The titles will be defended at the pay-per-view.
Nice. And then we got Jigoku. Defending versus Frankenstein.
Well, he beat Frankenstein in Cycle 50, but that villainous Dr. Frankenstein defeated. Do you want to say that name for me?
Jigoku?
You're the man. Defeated him to regain the Colossal title. So Dr. Frankenstein is once again the Colossal champion. I think this is his third or fourth reign. I know. He just keeps winning it back.
You know what? One of these days, Squeaky is going to, just stay a big freaking rat. You guys are lucky he hasn't, figured out how to just stay a big rat. Because if not, he's going to be, oh, man, just watch out.
Going to take over that Colossal title.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah. Now, Bosco defended. Oh, will defend.
Yes. At the
versus the whole roster?
It's quite a few. Got a fatal 4-way. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now I got it. How did freaking Frankenstein get? This is not
he won a battle royal.
That's what I was gonna say. I knew this wasn't just like, because a lot of people might see it, they'd be like, oh, the commissioner's doing it again. Oh man, he's putting his own guy in. It's like, gee, commissioner.
Everybody's got to earn it.
It's got to be earned. That's the beauty of it. I mean, the structure is there. I mean, just in case you are a new manager to the league, don't think that the commissioner is well, what is it, padding or loading up his fighters. Like, everything on this is earned.
Yeah, there's no padding for me. Everybody's on the same playing field. So yeah, I still like to win though.
Hey.
I mean, I do like to win, but everybody, it's got to be fair for everybody.
Squeaky's coming. Squeaky's, he's growing up fast. Oh man! Now, before we jump into the pay-per-view, you had mentioned last cycle that we're going to start another commissioner's challenge. Is that something that happens here in the UNL every quarter?
Every 5 cycles, basically. Okay. It cycles back through. So, you have 5 cycles to gain points. Cycle 51 was the last cycle to gain points this time. So and actually, this is a good time to talk about. I do think what I would like to do, all the commissioners, the first 5 commissioners challenge tournaments, all included 8 wrestlers. I think we're at enough people now, enough monsters. I think, and you tell me if you agree, sir, it's time to bump this up to 12.
You know what? I was going to say just move it down to 4. No? No.
Go the other way. Make it more exclusive. Make it harder to get in.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Obviously getting more managers involved definitely is, I think, everybody's, it would be anyone's choice, just to, it just gives everybody more, something to talk about. And that's, I think, what we want, is just build up some more feuds, build up some more action.
So the 6th Commissioners Challenge. Can you believe I'm on my 6th Commissioners Challenge tournament? That's how long I've been commissioning the LNL. So the 6th one will be announced next cycle, and then the first 4 matches, if we have 12, will take place the cycle after.
That works, yeah.
So yes, sir. So
that Dr. Frankenstein. I'm just looking at those rankings, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's currently, as of cycle 51, he was in first place. I think, given that he won the league title, he'll still be in first place. But yep, and he also won the 5th Commissioners Challenge. So he is on quite a roll.
Now I think the one that I am enjoying probably the most is, in terms of the rankings, is our 6-man division, because we got enough 6-man now where it's just making it it's making it fun, and to just oh man, you never know who's going to be there.
I agree, and we had talked about it on our last show about the possibility of having a commissioner 6-man title. So I'm not ready to confirm or deny anything yet, but I just want to throw that out there again. If any managers think that that's something we should do, feel free to message me. Let me know that you think that would be a good idea. I would definitely be interested in that opinion. I don't want to do something that people aren't really interested in, but if managers think that there is a call for that, I would definitely consider it highly. Yeah, I would probably do it.
In other words, let your voice be heard. Like I said,
let your voice be heard. Yeah,
this is still the IWA, and let's put an emphasis back on trash talk and I guess this is the reminder. It's like, the commissioner titles are there for, for our play style. I mean, I think I've said
Yeah.
that on a couple other shows, and it's like, if we don't make those titles relevant within our trash talk, then, it takes from, the experience. So, involve
Right.
yourself, mention the titles, mention that you're interested in the titles, mention that, you hate the person that has the title, just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
oh, in this
So
case, in,
I
in this case, we're in the LNL. Chop them up, chop them up.
that would work. So I did get some feedback on that, and a little concern that maybe it would be too many commissioner titles, which is fair. Something we could consider then is the possibility of consolidating some titles, like maybe combining, getting rid of one of the singles titles.
Or maybe not necessarily starting a commissioner title or taking one away in that sense, but how about like a 6-man tournament down the line?
Mm, that's another idea. Let's hear about that. If managers would like to do a 6-man tournament.
Like they said, at least like that, we don't have to initiate another title and worry
Right.
about challengers, but just a
Right.
tournament.
And what if, and I'm just spitballing here, what if the winners got to challenge for some commissioner titles?
Okay, there we go.
I think I think that sounds like a good idea.
I think we're channeling the Pale Man now.
He returns and inspiration
Aha.
comes.
Aha. I
I
love it.
actually kind of like that idea. 6-man
Yeah.
tournament, winners can challenge for certain commissioner titles.
Yeah. Get your yeah, I like it. Get your 6-man ready. Get your
I'll dig it.
now
We'll see how that develops.
now Dead by Dawn, April 30th,
Coming up,
coming up.
the matches will play. I know that different commissioners do things differently. How I do things in all 3 leagues that I commission, because I'm a crazy person and I commission 3 leagues. I mean, those 2 things actually don't have to relate to one another. They're separate but related. But the date listed for the pay-per-view is the date the matches will run. So then the write-ups will be in the next cycle. I think most of us do it that way now, but just for anybody who might be wondering. So April 30th is when the matches play, and then the cycle after is where we will have our write-ups or results or reactions.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and now I know at times commissioners want to take charge as in terms of I don't want to say moving the angles, but are you providing the pay-per-view results? Are we sending in the trash talk for the result?
Like the write-ups?
Right.
That's an excellent question. The LNL is probably the only league that I think still I want. Okay, so now we're sidebar a bit. But in the other 2 leagues I commission, I've really kind of cut it down to very like brief results in my report, and then in the bulletin is where we put a lot the lion's share, so to speak, of the results. I like in the LNL to have the write-ups in the report.
Okay, perfect.
You know what I mean? I think that's I like the leagues to feel different. I don't want the leagues I commission to all feel the same.
Now,
And I think part of what makes the LNL different is having that nice big write-up like we did for Head in the Box, right?
yes.
I hope people enjoyed it, but like it's all together, it's all there. You can read through it. It doesn't work everywhere, and it is a lot of work to do, but I feel like it fits the LNL.
Now, are we doing winners choice?
In terms of what happens.
In terms of, I guess, who's doing the write-up? I guess in
Oh,
terms of
okay. Yeah. Well, obviously the managers that are involved I appreciate any assistance or write-ups that managers do. If managers don't do a write-up, then I do my best to, do something that is worthwhile. I would encourage managers to interact with one another if they want to do something beyond, particularly if they want to do something beyond kind of a normal finish, right? If you want to do something a little different, it would be nice to kind of get everybody's input on that. But that's kind of that's on the people involved.
Now, I mean,
the people who send me stuff are the people that I'm gonna probably be, trying to match the results with.
I mean, let's extend on that a little bit and just go a little deeper with IWA trash talk just in general.
Okay.
I mean, because maybe some people just need a little. I don't want to say need guidance or need something need a way, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the match write-up when you're doing your trash talk. I mean, it could be your characters talking after after the pay-per-view. Maybe you want to say something that happened prior to the pay-per-view.
Right. If you want to have something that's related to the match but not the match itself, and you want me to include that as part of the show, I'm happy to include that. If you want to send it in separately as part of your trash talk, that's also fine. Either one is fine with me. What that makes me think of, though, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is managers don't have to do the whole write-up if that's not something that you feel comfortable doing. I've had managers message me and say, hey, I really want this thing, this to happen in the match. I really want, this move, or I really would like this finish. And that's also fantastic, because then I'll write a match that includes that or centers around that. So if you want to write the match, certainly that is awesome. If you don't want to write the match, but you just want to say, hey, I would really like this and this in the match, I can do that too. I try and be flexible.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, just adds some different options to for the managers listening, and like I said, I don't think anyone needs a guidebook as to how to do the IWA. I think that's the one thing everyone enjoys, is everybody plays their way, plays their style. But I think adding a little continuity is just it makes the product for everybody a little better.
I would have to agree.
Now, are we starting at the bottom of the matches, or is there like what is it a timeline for what's scheduled first?
Oh, like what? Well, I wouldn't say there is. Generally, like I try and put definitely the last match is going to be the contest match. The Underworld title match will probably be the one before that. But then these other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, I would say they're in flux. Sometimes it depends on like the flow of the show.
It depends on when you can wrangle up Jason and Michael to get there. Yeah. They're here. Start the tag match, but don't worry about the
tag match now. Yeah,
put them in another ring.
But and I try, I try and use the results to make certain things make sense. And so sometimes you might have an important match towards the beginning, or a match that's not for a title towards the end. And that's just kind of how the show goes, depending on what the results are.
This is an 18 and over league. It's okay. You can say that we're cleaning up the blood from the previous match.
Right. When they're mopping the ring, with all the gore and blood and guts. Like
let Morbius and Patient X go at it while we clean up the mess.
Right. Exactly.
Nice. So now Morbius and Patient X, like I said, Dr. Frankenstein has sent his one of his crazed patients to try and get some of this blood, and or we haven't even confirmed that. Is if he's trying to get the blood, or if he's trying to inject him, or I'm not sure if he's trying to cure him, or or maybe Morbius is the cure with that blood. Who knows?
Well, Dr. Frankenstein in his, not this cycle, but in cycle 50, kind of very heavily alludes to the fact that he wants something from Morbius. Like he wants to know how he is the way he is. And I think the idea being that Dr. Frankenstein wants to use whatever Morbius's powers are for his own nefarious means.
Oh yeah,
not that Dr. Frankenstein's a bad guy or anything.
No. The doctor's
just
great.
A humble scientist.
Yes.
Trying to improve humanity.
And poor Morbius is just caught himself in all these loopholes.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no ill intent.
No, I just like I said, patient X is he's gonna find out the hard way that
poor patient X is.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you really wanted to go up against the vampire, huh? Like but I don't think this is gonna just like I said, there's a lot revolving around this because the vampire hunter did come especially for Morbius. So we could have some kind of unwanted invasion into this match. So like we got to be careful.
I mean, I keep waiting to hear from Blade.
Yeah,
Blade, if you're listening, we'd like to hear from you.
Blade, are you better stay away from Morbius, Blade. If you try anything, like but you know what? I know Blade's a chicken. He's not gonna attack Morbius. He doesn't got the guts. He's like Robo. I was about to call him Robo Chicken. He's like RoboCat. He's just I won't say it. It's a PG show.
I mean, this is the LNL after hours. It's 18 and over, sir.
Oh my God! Well, Blade, you're just a pussy. You're just a pussy.
I would say that.
If you don't attack,
language.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Blade, you gotta attack. Morbius, Patient X trying to save him on this side, Morbius trying to kill him on that side. Who knows? Oh man!
And Wolfman Joe, don't forget about Wolfman Joe.
Why? How did he start so much with so many? He was trying to help Wolfman Joe. Wolfman Joe, you know what? We're lucky that these damn Sith Lords, collapsed that arena, and that Wolfman and his and everybody's focus is somewhere else right now. Because if not, I got to have a talk with that Wolfman Joe guy.
Yeah, definitely helped Morbius this cycle.
Oh man, just a misunderstanding there, Wolfman Joe. Like, it was that dumb blonde secretary that Dr. Frankenstein sent. Had me all. I didn't have enough blood up in the head. I lost it all.
Well, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say no, it's okay. His blood was rushing somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Even vampires, I guess, are not immune.
No.
So.
Now,
one of the matches that I'm most looking forward to is this 8-monster tag survivor match.
Yes.
I think that anytime you get 8 superstars like the Sith and the Creature feature team together in a Survivor Series style matchup, you are looking at a barn burner.
Oh man, I know from my side of town, just watching RoboCat and Squeaky get trained and get their workouts, and they've been upping their antics because now they got focus under the school of Catfish Rob.
And when you're under that learning tree, you are in good hands.
Yeah, they 8-1. No, not 8-1. Was it 3-1? In
the Terror Tag?
Yeah.
Terror Tag, they went 8-1.
Holy
moly. They became the number 1 contenders.
Wow. See, that's just, shout out to the Catfish Rob School of Learning.
Without a doubt.
So, watch out there. Now here's the interesting
But now part. They get to do double duty, though, right? Is that what you were just going to say?
Well, not only that, but it's Foxwoman And is Foxwoman teaming up with them?
In the Survivor Series match?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Foxwoman Santana, Wolfman Joe, and RoboCat and Squeaky.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a team.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, though, while we're talking about this matchup, that the winner will be determined by the highest total strategy.
Dude.
Well, what I mean by that is, I should be more clear. I mean by the highest total team strategy. So I'll add up all 4 strategies, and the highest team total is the winner. That's what I mean.
This is another one of those situations where you got a group of characters that at this point in mourning, because we have no idea what happened to our beloved Catfish Rob. So
yes,
to see them,
which we will discuss in detail in our trash talk.
Oh yeah. now our the Sith Lords.
Yes.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Nice. Okay, so
this one has been brewing since before they were even Sith Lords. So, this was really kind of started with Foxwoman and Catfish against the Dragons. And even after the last pay-per-view, Foxwoman and Catfish didn't quite have enough fill. So, like Macho Man with Ric Flair, they want the whole Sith package.
Bring them all on.
They want them all. So, so Catfish is in his own title match at the pay-per-view. So we have kind of the rest of his crew minus Bigfoot in this big 8-monster tag match.
Nice. Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah. I'm looking to it.
Oh yeah. Now Voorhees versus Bagul.
Yes. So what has been announced, which I thought was going to be kind of cool, was that if Bagul could beat Jason Voorhees, he and Krampus could be added to the Terror Tag title match.
Nice.
However, not to put a damper on anything, but Krampus has been inactive a couple cycles. So if the manager for the Krampus is listening, would love to have you return. I love the work of Krampus whenever he is around. If he returns, then all will play out as planned. If, however, the Krampus is not active next cycle, and Sinister Bagul would win against Jason Voorhees, he would earn an opportunity to challenge for the tag titles at a future date.
Nice.
Because it seems unfair to punish him if his presumptive partner would be inactive.
At least give him time to round up
another one of his extraordinarily evil partners. Mwah.
Nice. I like it. Now, so assuming all this goes into action, yes, we could have another contestant join us in the Terror Tag.
Right. If the Krampus is active and if Bagul can beat Jason in a singles match, then they will join the Terror Tag match. Otherwise, it will be the champions Myers and Voorhees versus RoboCat and Squeaky. And RoboCat and Squeaky won their number one contendership through that round robin that took place the last few cycles. So, as mentioned, they went an impressive 8-1. So they definitely earned the right to challenge the champions.
Good luck there. Good luck there. Oh, come on. We can get him, Squeaky. Come on. Let's figure it out. Maybe if we inject Squeaky with some of Morbius's blood, he can figure out how to stay 7 foot. Like a big old 7. There we go. Well, we're going to get, maybe we got to chase down Morbius.
He needs another person, I think.
Yeah, poor guy. Now, our Anarchy title match. Fatal 4-way, you said, huh?
Yes.
Now, how long has Bosco had it?
Good question. He was successful at the last pay-per-view. So we're looking at 6 months plus.
Nice.
I mean, because until now they've only been defended at pay-per-views, which, to be fair, is only a few times a year.
Nice.
so if you win the title, you're champion for a few cycles. You don't, Anarchy champion and Underworld champion is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But, so he had a successful title defense at the last pay-per-view, and now he's got to turn back the challenge of 3 top contenders. So.
Nice. Now, just to remind everyone, these contestants got a shot by winning the Battle Royal.
That is correct. Catfish and Frankenstein and Voodoo Dolly. I do want to mention that it is important for champions to be active. It would be wonderful, ideally champions would also trash talk. But champions need to be active. So if any challengers or champions are not active, they are not going to win or retain their titles.
Gotcha. Just putting it out there. There's no fine print. There's no fine print here. It's right, in your just so you know.
Just so everybody knows. Inactive wrestlers do not remain or become champion.
Yeah, I mean that's just fair.
That seems fair. Yes.
Now, Underworld title match.
Yes.
Now, for whatever reason, I thought Frankenstein was going to be challenging for this one, but no, it was Patient X himself.
Well, Dr. Frankenstein was one of the final 5, but Patient X had the best strategy among the 5 finalists last cycle, which makes him the number 1 contender. Yeah. So I believe the final 5. X. Yeah. I mean, he's not just a right-hand man. He's challenging for the title.
You're dead. You're dead, Morbius. You're dead.
But I believe the final 5 were Patient X, Dr. Frankenstein, Jason, Foxwoman, and either Patient Y or Z. So, the patients were heavily favored, and Patient X had the highest strategy, so he became the number 1 contender.
Yeah, Morbius, run.
Or maybe Patient X should be careful in this match against Morbius because he's got to fight for the Underworld title, and then hopefully still have enough left to go do the Dead by Dawn match.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just I'm worried about that Blade guy. See if he decides to show up and ruin things.
If he shows up, I would not want to be Morbius.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, I think Patient X is sneaky enough to, probably bait him to the match,
Well, Patient X isn't that sneaky. Now, Dr. Frankenstein, however,
the puppeteer himself.
Yeah, the puppeteer. Yes, he might be sneaky enough to do that.
I like it. Now, let's see here.
Run over the. We might have done it on our last show, but should we run over the entries for the Dead by Dawn match?
Yes.
All right.
This is finalized. This is
final list. Yep, this is it. No additions. So involved in the Dead by Dawn match, where the winner will win $9 in LNL credit and receive a Underworld title match, will be the Krampus, Bosco the Clown, Scarecrow, the Yeti, Jason Voorhees 13, Michael Myers, Dr. Frankenstein, Patience X, Y, and Z, Sinister Bagul, Jin the Wishmaster, the Creeper, Chrome Skull, still probably one of my favorite names, Chrome Skull, Robocat, Squeaky, Bigfoot, and the vampire himself, Morbius.
Oh man, if he even this is after everything else, right?
After everything else, yeah.
Wow, poor guy.
So we're gonna have to give them time to get out to the cemetery.
Or somebody roll him out on a barrel, like.
he's not well enough to compete, then
put
just
him in
put him in the
the
van and we'll drag him out.
Nice.
He'll be the first one buried.
No, poor guy. Buried before the start of the match.
He's already dead, then bury him.
Just do him the honors. Just put him out. Oh, man. So now, the hype behind the Pale Man is awesome, and I think it just, I think it just brings the league to life. I think, his fans are, I don't want to call them groupies, but I mean, they're either that or they're scared, of what he could do to them. What he could do to them.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the opposite end of the Pale Man, that's for sure.
Oh no.
But yeah, I hear the voices of loyal fans and managers, and it feels right to have the Pale Man return. So
now, somebody better bring him some KFC. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying.
But he does mention that he prefers a nice dinner of fairies and innocents.
Well, that's why, bring him some KFCs, because I ain't bringing him no fairies. Now, here you go, Pale Man. Just try the extra crispy,
You might crunch, like it. You don't know.
They crunch just like fairies. They really do here.
Oh, that makes me so sad. Every time it's hard. You're like, why did you eat the fruit? They told you not to.
Oh, yeah. Should have just had some KFC.
Like, that should be their new ad. Like, eat KFC. It's better than meeting the Pale Man.
Oh, yeah. That's one scary thing right there.
Yeah. Then we have our official announcement for Terror Night's main event. So there will be an Anarchy title match at that show. It's not a pay-per-view. As I mentioned here, it's not really something that I want managers to feel like they need to build towards. It's just something to kind of bridge the gap and maybe have something to build into the pay-per-view. It's the promo for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking before we started recording about, the booking aspect. Certain commissioners, and this is a good building block. So if you want to have a certain match at a pay-per-view be more relevant, make sure you're building it up in some aspect before that pay-per-view. And I think, right. Something like Terror Night main event is just that. It's like you said, it's not something that's going to be built up or take a long build up to, but rather it be a building block towards the next one.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, right. Say, like something like with Jason and Sinister Bagul, right? Maybe Terror Night's main event has Michael Myers versus Sinister Bagul.
Yes.
Like, here's, you're going to face his partner. Or, maybe, since Catfish really wants to get a hold of the Sith, maybe he's a special guest referee, or, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Things like that, something to use to build towards the match itself, At least that's the idea. We do have a few more contenders now. So the number one contender match, looking ahead, for the next Anarchy title match, the number one contender will be okay. So let me, brother. Sometimes, so the number one contender will be. Oh man, it's live. It's fine. It's live. The number one contender match will take place in Cycle 53. There will be up to 6. Doesn't have to be 6. Taken between the 3 best trash talkers from Cycles 51, 50, 51, and 52, as well as the Battle Royal winners from cycles 50, 51, and 52. If any of those overlap, we just won't have 6. We'll just have less. So right now, we have Jason and Sinister Bagul, who are announced in this bulletin. Added to that is Wolfman Joe and Jigsaw. And then we'll get our next 2, obviously, in cycle 52.
Now, does the Trash Talk have to mention the championship?
It does not. It would be nice. That would be cool. If you're number 1 contender, it's always nice to talk about the title you're contending for. But it's not obligatory.
Nice.
I love how I can't talk for like 45 seconds and then I use the word like obligatory.
Oh yeah, join the club.
What can I say?
Hey. Oh yeah, but that's the now that we're what did you say? Live, raw, and uncut.
Yes. You're gonna get the real deal now, folks.
You get it all. You get it all.
We're doing our best. It's all for you fans.
This is the IWA.
This is what you get.
Now, which is the least contested championship?
Are you talking commissioner title?
No, just looking at this Haunted Grounds, and I'm trying to see which one has like the least number of.
Well, I mean, they should all have the same number of champions.
Huh.
Are you saying like which one is least challenged for?
Yeah, I'm trying to see which title has like the least number of people that have it. Like in terms of like I'm looking maybe that's the Transylvania. Only 4 people have that.
Well, they should all have 4.
Oh, duh. Duh. I'm like, huh? What? What do you mean everybody has what? Okay, so I guess the better question is what champions has chased the least titles? RoboCat, bastard.
Okay. So there are only 2 monsters who have 3 unique titles right now. So they're listed 1 and 2. Darth Akuma and Patient X have both won 3 unique regional titles. So
yes, that.
So there are 1 and 2.
Better said. Better. I was like, there's got to be a way to get this question out.
And then I think leading down to Darth Carey. Please tell me if I butchered that. That he is the last one with 2 regional titles so far. What I did mention before that I feel bears mentioning now is that if you win the Nightmare Paranormal, that's not included here. Swamp Monster won the league title, but league title's not in the Haunted Grounds.
Yeah.
Even though Swamp Monster won league title and he gets other things for that, he didn't get any credit in the Haunted Grounds contest for that.
Yeah, this is definitely a regional challenge.
It is a regional challenge. Well put. Yes. But then also, like Patient Y and somebody else in Frankenstein have 2 of the same. And so that really doesn't help you until you get to the very last tiebreaker. So winning the same title doesn't help you nearly as much as winning a different title.
Yeah, I mean,
so if I were Patient X, I wouldn't challenge for the Crystal Lake title again.
If you're going for especially if you're focusing on trying to bring home the reward, just to remind managers, is either going to be.
Well, if somebody can win, right? If somebody can get all 10 in 2019, they win a match deal, which is worth $12.
Nice.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with $12.
Yeah, a little incentive, definitely.
Yeah. But even if nobody achieves all 10, the monster who does the best gets 10 free matches.
Yeah, still a score.
Oh, yeah, I'd still be happy with 10 free matches. I'm not picky.
Yeah.
You don't have, ice cream? I'll take yogurt.
Hey.
Yogurt's still good.
Hey. Serve it up.
I don't know if that's a good analysis. Everything is food. Everything's food with me. That's how it is.
As long as you're not trying to eat any of the bodies at Dead by Dawn, we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
No promises.
No promises made. All right.
I promise nothing.
Why are you eating Bigfoot's leg? Huh? I have no idea. Oh man. So now, after Dead by Dawn, we got Monsters Ball. Is that the next one coming?
Good question, but no. Monsters Ball is the contest that just finished up that determines our underworld champion. So Patient X did win the Monsters Ball challenge. So that's why he is the number one contender for the underworld title. Our next pay-per-view, however, following Dead by Dawn, I can say now, is Chamber of Horrors, which is an awesome show as far as I'm concerned, where we have an elimination chamber match. However, this time,
yes,
it will not be for the underworld title. So to be determined or to be announced what the elimination chamber match will actually be contested for.
I like it. Now, it seems like when I erase my computer, I must have erased my memory too. Because, like I said, I'm so I'm like, wow. I go, yeah. We've been following the damn Monsters Ball this whole, oh, jeez.
Hey, that's
now, I do see that you're a lot more generous this year than you were last year with the iCash.
Well, I was banking the iCash for a long time. I was banking it for the hardcore champion. But then, no offense to anyone, including myself, none of us were winning the hardcore title.
Not till the cycle after, Torgo.
Not till the cycle after. Without fail, right? Like, not even, it was not the same cycle, but the cycle directly after, right?
Yeah.
I was
all pumped up because I thought Torgo was going to get to retire a millionaire, and you're like, no, it's over. I'm like, huh? What?
Torgo.
Oh man.
But I'm a man of my word. I had already said it. I had already put it out there. But some iCash going out. Best Trash Talk gets 50,000. If you win the Amityville title, that's 25. If you win the Crypt title, that's also 25. And then also monsters who win championship matches at pay-per-views get 50,000.
Nice.
So our bank will ever slowly begin to decrease. Now we're inputting 100,000 and taking out 100,000. So we're not decreasing except during pay-per-view cycles.
Like I said, it's just fun to see the iCash go around. Now, have you considered? I mean, obviously you do it in other leagues, but maybe another buy-in tournament down the line with some iCash.
Oh, that's a good question. I wouldn't.
I know you do. I know you do a lot already, brother. I'm just blabbing.
What? I don't know if I'd say a lot. I mean, no, it's not about workload. Although it is that is what it is. Like people, don't you get tired of doing IWA stuff? No, this is all I think about. But no, I was just wondering. I wouldn't say never. But I do like, again, as I did incidentally talk about earlier, I try and have the leagues feel a little different.
Yes.
And so I feel like if I do the same thing in different leagues, that it begins to feel very, very similar.
Very cookie cutter.
Right. And so one league focuses on tournaments a lot. One league doesn't focus on it as much. One league has an iCash event, which is, by the way, up to almost $3 million in iCash. So that's pretty cool.
Holy.
Yeah. And then the LNL focuses on other things. Like I don't do an elimination chamber match in any other league I commission. I don't do a Money in the Bank type match in any other league I commission. So I try and offer the LNL something unique. So that's I would say probably not in terms of iCash events, but you never know.
Hey, we are getting another crossover collision, though.
We are getting another crossover collision, and I don't know if you saw, but I did address the commissioner from the RWL who last cycle offered up his league to participate, and I'll just read what I have here. So Commissioner Goldstein thinks that the RWL should be the next league to take part in the crossover collision event and face the LNL this summer. His comments gave me a good laugh. Don't get your wrestlers hurt, Goldstein. We're calling for some real competition. Ooh. So,
No women allowed.
Well, I mean, notice he didn't say women. He just said competition. This is not a sexist thing.
Okay.
Commissioner Pratt is many things, but he is not a sexist.
Says no, just competition,
Just competition. He does not view the RWL as competition. Stick that in your pipe, Commissioner Goldstein.
This is, I'm telling you, shots fired. This is awesome. I like it. Well, no crossover collision for the RWL, but we are getting a crossover collision.
For sure.
Yes.
There will definitely be a crossover collision. And when we have an appropriate, competitive league to go against us, then we will indeed announce that.
Like you said, we want a real league, not.
I mean, that's what Commissioner Pratt says.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on, dude. Look at these monsters. You got to get some competition when you can't just go up against Gabby Wonder and some no. Real competition.
Real competition.
Yeah. We got monsters here, Goldstein. Monsters.
Monsters. Yeah. So speaking of monsters, we do have some pretty monstrous events having taken place.
Where are we starting with this? Because I mean, this
Catfish.
Yeah, I mean, because after last cycle, seeing the Sith just collapse the stadium, I was like, "What's going to happen here?" And then, right. I mean, I got to start with because when I was going through it, I was like, Catfish, this is why we love you. Stories like this, just to bring it all together. I think, I think I speak for everyone, in any league that has a Catfish. Just his style, just he'll ravel you up into these stories, and the way the whole league just came together to try and rescue him. That just it's very touching and kind of scary at the end.
I couldn't have said it any better. This is, if you are, I doubt we have too many newer managers listening, but if you are a newer manager and you're listening, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. This trash talk is, to me, everything that's right about trash talk. It responds to something that happened last cycle. It doesn't dismiss it. It builds it up. It makes it important. It twists and turns. It has drama. It has intrigue. I genuinely wanted to read to the end and see what happened. And anytime you can do that in the span of less than a page, is write something that somebody is excited to finish, you've done a good job. So it's really, really a good story.
Yeah, I mean, and we've said this, sometimes at times on this show, that not everything works in every league. I mean, this is the Living Nightmare League, so something right. like what the Sith did in collapsing an entire arena, people and all.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't work everywhere, but this is the Living Nightmare League. If you're into trash talk that you can take over the top and and again, and the managers that are here that are willing to, run with that type of a catastrophe. And, so
Right.
Catfish, yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah. It's definitely really good. And the best part is, well, I don't know if I'd say, like, it's all great. But one of the things I really liked is it leaves us wondering, is Catfish actually, like, is he okay? We don't know for sure. We still have this level of concern. What is Catfish Rob's condition?
Yes,
so
is he even going to get to show up to the
right
to the pay-per-view? Yeah, so
right. So now you know what I mean. Like, now we're looking forward to the next chapter. What happens next?
and the Sith had no remorse.
No, as expressed in their comments, there is zero remorse. In fact, they seem to revel in their dark deeds, which actually I think was the name of a pay-per-view, Dark Deeds.
Yes.
So they seem to revel in their dark deeds. The cries and screams are music to their ears. That's pretty evil. I gotta say.
I mean, we've said this, and to kind of tie these characters into this whole story arc. The manager himself, transitioned these fighters into becoming Siths. So it's not like they're, these are the former dragons that transitioned into some dark days, and now have honed their Sith powers. So they're very familiar with the league. So it's not like they don't know who they're attacking. So
they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, and one of the things that they say that stuck out to me was they talk about this vicious cycle of pain creating power and power creating pain.
Ooh.
And I was just like a shiver, Oh, these guys. I don't want to mess with the Sith,
Oh yeah, I mean, now once you bring something into a league, it becomes a part of the league. So now that he's brought, the Force into the league, I'm curious as to, because someone like Michael, someone like Jason, with how he not I don't want to say he vanishes, but he just has that sixth sense of movement, or just one minute to the next, he's in front of you. You're like, what? How? And your head's off.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to the mix as to the supernatural and Jason and his monster abilities versus the Force versus the Force.
It'll be interesting.
Oh yeah.
I will. Yes, I am looking forward to those kind of confrontations.
Yes, and let's not leave out the League of supernatural powers now. Supernatural.
Yeah. Well, the title doesn't give away what happens, but once you know what happens, the supernatural meeting, the League of Extraordinary Evil is beckoned by Sinister Bagul to go out and find some victims. So Chrome Skull, the Creeper, and Jin the Wish Master, easy for me to say, find 3 victims. Those 3 victims end up being the heroes from Supernatural, Dean and Sam Winchester, as well as Castiel. And it's pretty vicious. I mean, only in the LNL. They rip out Castiel's heart from his chest. So they rip out an angel's heart, and then they rip Sam and Dean limb from limb and bury them.
Ooh.
So, and then they set the graves on fire. Nice, so there's they leave no doubt. There is no stone unturned. They are ripped limb from limb, and then they are put in the grave, and then the grave is set on fire. So they are dead.
I like it. It's just, that, like you said, only in the Living Nightmare League.
Only in the Living Nightmare.
Now this was like you said. This is like kind of like their let's see if you're tough enough moment.
Yeah, like an initiation. Yeah, that's the impression I get. Yeah, like I want to make sure that you're worthy and prepared for Dead by Dawn. And clearly they were up to the challenge.
What? Up to the challenge? They took out some, angel. Like,
hey, do you know how tough this angel is?
Oh man, he's still an angel. He's the sight of good. He's not, meant to attack people.
Castiel is a badass. Let me tell you. I just said ass on a tube cast.
Nice.
Castiel is not to be trifled with, and they rip his heart out. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Angels. Yeah. Well, wait till they get a load of a vampire. So. We're coming
we'll see how that all works out.
Yeah. Poor vampire's still trying. He can't even find a friend, and he's over here trying to start some.
I won't start anything else for him. He's got enough problems.
Like, he's bad enough. He's running from one side to poor guy.
Yeah. We do get some good stuff here, as always, from Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Speaking of the League of Extraordinary Evil, Sinister Bagul is kind of making his way with some of his followers, and Jason slowly picks off a couple stragglers, and then by the time Bagul notices, Jason steps out and hits him with his terror tag belt, and basically, and such force that it imprints onto Bagul's face. Like you can just like, imprints.
Nice.
And so then Jason vanishes.
Man.
So
I could just imagine Bagul going, looking at himself in the mirror, just terror tag.
Yeah,
what?
I hope this isn't permanent.
Dang.
Yeah. So and then Bobby Fish is. Enjoying a few minutes. It says less than 4. Enjoys less than 4 minutes with a what is described as a ring rat. Not squeaky, however. And before he exits the room, and so then Michael comes in, and the young lady, I use that term loosely, thinks that Bobby Fish has come back in and is kind of playing around. But then Michael gets close enough. She realizes too late what's going on. And Michael makes quick work of Bobby Fish's company. So then when Bobby Fish comes back in, Michael makes pretty quick work of him and throws him next to the now deceased young lady. And then uses his terror tag belt to beat Bobby Fish into unconsciousness.
You know what, Michael Myers, you better watch out, because when Bobby Fish resurrects next cycle, he's coming for you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but what you can't do is kill somebody's company.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, the next time they come to town, now he's going to have to find somebody else.
I think the one thing I get a kick out of from this manager's trash talk is that there's always a tie-in. So it's something like just I love it. Like he didn't kill him.
No,
just beat him unconscious.
Beat him unconscious. Yeah. We'll see you next cycle, buddy.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes, very good stuff.
I thought he was gonna kill him, but no, he just beat him unconscious.
I know. That's what I thought might happen too, but he didn't.
Oh no! Now this guy. What?
You say it with such disdain.
Well,
he's a humble scientist.
It's out of respect. This guy is such a gentleman.
Sure. Dr. Frankenstein, in his trash talk, is kind of building up some of the matches for the pay-per-view. He talks about Patient X and Morbius. He talks about how he's going to beat that half-wit Bosco the Clown. But then the highlight of the night will be obviously the Dead by Dawn match. So he, along with probably everybody else that's involved in that match, is definitely looking towards claiming victory in Dead by Dawn.
So. Well, you know what? Squeaky has already equipped the RoboCat suit with a shovel.
Oh, nice.
So it's gonna make it easy to bury even if you're not dead, just gonna get buried very fast. So
yes.
So watch out. Because nothing says we gotta kill you. Just bury you.
Just bury
RoboCat. Deep down inside, RoboCat is still his heart is still there. So he can't kill everybody. He's just bury him,
Yeah. Like give him a big straw or something. Like, here, you can breathe out of this as I bury you.
Yeah. It's like, it's that Squeaky. If Squeaky gets, gets their hold of that remote control, watch out. Watch out.
Could get dangerous.
That shovel's gonna turn into a helicopter, and blades. Oh, yeah.
Blade, you said? I don't think Blade is in the Dead by Dawn match.
No,
but he could show up sometime.
I'm just talking about that shovel's going to turn into a blade.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, so Dead by Dawn's coming.
By Dawn's coming. It's a big one.
Are we? I'm trying to think of anyone else that we're missing on this one. I know. I think we got them all.
I think we covered it, sir. I would just like to throw out there. I know that we've seen the debut of I believe it's Pinhead's group of One Eye, Three Finger, and Sawtooth. Would love to see some more of that, as well as the Hitchhiker and the Crypt Keeper. And Jigsaw. Would love to hear how those characters are being portrayed. Definitely look forward to hopefully hearing some more from those managers, particularly since now is a great time to do that. As we move from like one pay-per-view, we can start building towards the next pay-per-view.
Yes.
So now is a great time to debut.
Yes. I mean, obviously, we said that the write-ups for the pay-per-view aren't going to happen until 53.
Correct.
So so I would consider this Trash Talk one of those critical months. Yeah, because this is, like I said, it's a lot of build-up, through the pay-per-view. Yeah, I like it. All righty, Commissioner. We're going to go ahead and sign this one off. You've been listening to Living Nightmare After Hours. With Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip. We'll see you guys next time.